welcome to the show. I'm Matt Harry, author of Cryptozoology for Beginners.
And I'm Jessica Mason, author of Mary Shelley's School for Monsters.
And this is
Monster v. Monster. And this is the podcast that pits your favorite monsters against each other.
Jesse is our resident monster expert, and I will act as referee and game master. Who will reign supreme? Listen on to find out.
Monster v. Monster.
All right, so let's introduce this week's guest, Rylend Grant. Rylend is a friend and also a very accomplished comic book writer and filmmaker. He's a Ringo Award-winning publisher at Half Evil Comics and the creator of books like The Jump, The Peacekeepers, and the official Evel Knievel comic book series. He has worked for 15 plus years in Hollywood. He's writing film and television projects for folks like J.J. Abrams, Ridley Scott, John Woo, F. Cary Gray, and Justin Lin. He is the creative director and managing partner at the Shoshin Creative Lab, a content and strategy firm helping companies and creators turn ambitious ideas into impactful stories across print, film, television, and digital platforms. Rylend, welcome to the show. We are so excited to have you here today.
Excited to be here, and that was quite an intro. I should hire you to be my hype person.
I usually like to just have flyers and go extra.
Sandwich boards. We don't do enough sandwich boards anymore. See what we got on the main.
Yeah, exactly. Well, welcome to the show. We like to do this thing called Creative Monster of the Week, and I want to know what Matt has been struggling with.
It was my birthday this week, and it was a particularly big birthday. You know, when it's your birthday week, you don't get as much done for lots of reasons, some of which are fun, some of which are not so fun. But I have to share this one story. So we went out Sunday night for this birthday dinner, and the server says, like, are you here for a reason? I'm like, yeah, it's my birthday. They're like, yeah, oh, okay, we'll bring you the free dessert. And there was this long delay of the dessert. And I looked over and I could see our server like talking with other servers and like looking over at our table and like talking to the manager. I'm like, what are they doing? What is the problem? And it turned out it was because they tried to pull 4 servers in to like bring out the dessert and sing happy birthday. And I was like, I don't need the song. But if like the song gets you the dessert, I guess do the song. But this was the grimmest, just bleakest rendition of happy birthday you've ever heard in your life. These 4 servers were like indentured servants that were like chained together to come out and sing this song. The just darkest dirge version of it. This one server was just staring at me like this, like glaring, like, why am I singing this song? Why are you making me do this? I'm like, I don't want this. I don't want any of this.
No, I want cake. I want a free dessert.
Just want the dessert. That's it. So that was like, that kicked off the week. And that was like a whole, it's just like every day you're like, well, I could sit down and work, but then there's like, you're getting messages. It's all nice stuff, but I feel like I never got in a groove creatively this whole week because you're just like pulled in all these different directions. But yeah, that was my week. What about you, Jesse? What was your creative monster?
I am starting a new project, a new comic series, and
exciting.
And I am excited about it, but it's the reaching out to the artist and the different people that I have mostly worked with, which is good. But every single time you send out that message, you're like, okay, they want to work with me. We already established that. We want to work together. And then it's like, but are they going to like the idea? I love the idea. So it's not an insecurity so much as in like, once I'm going to make a comic, I'm pretty into what I'm doing. But like, it's that waiting, and artists are notoriously like, it's either they answer you right away or it's silence. And because, they're caught up and they eventually, and then they respond really positively. And you're like, okay, thank goodness. Because like I was waiting for an email for a long time this week, or it felt like a long time. It was probably like only like 4 days, but it felt like forever. And I was like, oh my God, they don't want to do the project. And so I think a lot of what I was dealing with is always just not letting yourself doubt your abilities, doubt the project just because somebody else is taking a while to process it, which, because you've been processing it for ever. It's at the fun part now, and at least for me, it's the fun part, maybe not for the artist, but for me, it's the fun part where I get to hand it off and get to wait for things to come back. And I get to do an adult project. It's been a while, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And anyway, I eventually will talk about it more in detail. But right now, it was getting over those little panic attacks. So I think I conquered it.
Keep coming back to it. It's so like dating, like, because there's this like emotional mental match, and like you put yourself out there to ask somebody to do it. And even if you talked about it before, even if you're like, yeah, we're going to do this, right? When you actually ask, it's like, okay, now it's real. And am I going to get rejected?
And I'm on one knee here holding this plastic ring. because I'm an indie. So, will you, wear this ring? We don't have to go steady or anything. Anyways,
Right.
so Rylend, what about you? Did you have to slay any dragons this week?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of juggling.
Mm-hmm.
This work is a lot about juggling, right? It's kind of like a schizophrenic lifestyle. But I feel you. I mean, the waiting is the hardest part. I am waiting for the Knievel family, the Knievel brand, to sign off on the final version of issue 1 of the Evel Knievel comic book series we're doing. And it was one of those things, kind of like you, where it's like I sent it over, and then 5 days went by and I didn't hear anything. But they are currently about to open the new and improved Evel Knievel Museum in Las Vegas, and so they are busy doing all the prep work for that.
Please
The
tell
main
me, are there
Go ahead.
interactive exhibits at the Evel
Yeah, yeah,
Knievel Museum? Can you
yeah,
get
yeah,
on like the bike and like
yeah.
ramp it? Oh my God.
You're looking at a video screen, and it takes you through what it looks like to actually go up over the
That is
thing.
amazing. I
Yeah,
am going.
I know I mean, it was in Kansas. They're moving it to Las Vegas, which is a really good, it's right near Fremont Street. But yeah, the main monster I've been wrestling with this week is, I mean, the film business has been very slow. My day job is writing movies and TV shows, and there aren't a lot of movies and TV shows to write right now. And so I've had to diversify my bonds a lot, and the comic stuff keeps me busy. A lot of the consulting work that I do with Shoshin keeps me busy. But the primary thing paying the bills right now is I am ghostwriting a memoir for a fairly prominent tech founder and CEO. I can't say who, because that takes the
Yep.
ghost out of the ghostwriting.
Yeah.
But it has been
You can
a
drop
unique.
some hints. We'll figure it out.
It has been a unique monster, and it's so interesting. You interview all of the the people that were there, and you get 10 takes on one happening,
Yeah.
and a lot of times they're sometimes they're similar, a lot of times they're not so similar, and then you're left to kind of sort through it and figure out what to commit to, and you obviously have to tell this specific CEO's version of things, and it is interesting what the memory does, after 25 years.
And I feel like as more of the things come out about these people too, it's probably a good idea to not have your name on it sometimes. It's like,
Yeah, it's true.
it's
Be
all
silent.
you. That's your
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I'm familiar with. I mean, I've written in Hollywood for 20 years, and a lot of my work, particularly early on, was polishing turds. I made some, I made some unbearable movies a little more bearable, and I made some good movies, a little bit better, but you do that, and your name, it doesn't end up on them, and your name shouldn't be on them, because it's not like I would be like, oh yeah, you should have seen that movie before I did it. I fixed it and I made it watchable. But you get used to it. Yeah, it's weird. It's but you can pop the DVD in, if we still do that, and you can be like, oh yeah, that line was definitely mine. But
On our deathbeds, we should release like here's everything I did.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
all the little lines and all the
This
movies.
line in this thing, that thing in that thing,
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Anyway, I know that Matt wants to know more about Evel Knievel, I can tell.
Well, so you brought it up in your bio. I immediately, because I think too, maybe we should tell people, because we have younger listeners who may not know who Evel Knievel was.
That's true.
So do you want to introduce like who that? I'm curious to first explain who that was, because he was a big guy in my childhood. But then, how did you become involved in being like the official comics guy for him?
Yeah, all good questions. So yeah, Evel Knievel is the granddaddy of all daredevils. Wasn't the first, but he was the biggest and the best, and perhaps the only one who became like the most famous person in the world for the better part of a decade. And most famous or infamous for jumping the fountains at Caesar's Palace, or attempting to jump the fountains at Caesar's Palace and crashing.
And I remember the crash. Did he get hurt? Did he get injured from that?
Yeah. And in fact, if he would have landed the jump, it wouldn't have been that big a deal. But he jumped, he landed a little short. He went over to the front of the bike, and he just rolled like a rag doll into the parking lot of the next casino. Broke a ton of bones, pushed his right leg up into his pelvis. And as the legend goes, he spent 29 days in a coma, and then basically emerged and said he was going to jump the Grand Canyon after that. Here's the thing: is I mean, we are We are divided as a country. We've always been divided to a degree, but we are perhaps more divided than we've ever been. And I think that there are certain things that we can unite behind. We can all come together and shut up for a minute and watch a lunatic, try to jump over a canyon
Right.
in a steam powered rocket or leap over something on his motorcycle. And it is an American spirit. No matter what your political party is, no matter what your affiliations are here and there, we have, as a country, we have pointed to things and said, "I'm going to climb that," and then we went and did it, and that's when we are at our best. And he embodied that spirit. And, he actually, I mean, it's funny. It's like you asked me, how did I fall into this? Because like he stopped jumping before I was born, but he was such an icon that he was everywhere. Even 10 years after he stopped jumping, when I was coming up, he jumped on ABC's Wide World of Sports most often. And it was like the highest rated show on TV back then. He had something like 8 of the top 10 rated episodes of ABC's Wide World of Sports, even still. And the reruns were on constantly when I was growing up. My dad owned bars and clubs my whole life. I grew up in a bar, and these were some bad dudes, like, badass Detroit hard drinking, blue collar dudes who weren't afraid of anything, and it was really hard to earn their respect. And they didn't shut up about anything, right? But when Evel Knievel was on the screen,
it's like
they shut the hell up, and they gave him their respect and their attention, and they couldn't believe what he was doing. And so when I was growing up, it was like, oh wow, this is the guy. This is the measure of a man. This is, hopping on a motorcycle, howling at the moon, and just leaping over whatever gets in your way. And so it was formative. It was fascinating. And I think that I've had some version of that spirit my whole life, where it's like, for better and for worse, don't think before I jump. You end up doing great things because of that. You end up crashing catastrophically sometimes because of that. But I'm
different
really
if you do it creatively than physically.
Yeah.
Don't
two different
jump,
outcomes.
kids. Don't.
I mean,
jump.
unless you're good at jumping. Now, if you're good at jumping, maybe
Yeah,
you gotta jump.
so.
I mean,
he was really good, and he rolled over his bike and broke all his bones.
But this guy's making a comic about him. Yeah.
So how did you make the jump to loving this guy to like now you're doing his comics, right?
Yeah, that's interesting, and I'm sure that as writers, creators, you guys have experienced this. You write a couple of comic books, and they are pretty well received. We won a Ringo Award for Aberrant, and then we were nominated for 4 Ringo Awards for Banjax, including Best Series, and we were nominated next to like Bitterroot and Something's Killing the Children, and so we have some heat at that point. And when you have heat, like people start coming out of the woodwork and saying, "Hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to write?" It started with journalists. Journalists would be like, "Hey, what character do you want to write in comics?" And I was never the guy. I didn't grow up wanting to write Captain America or Superman. That was not me. I loved comic books, but I loved Vertigo comic books. So, and so that question took me by surprise for some reason. It shouldn't have, but it did. And usually I would kind of fumble my way through it, being like, "Oh, I don't know, Moon Knight. I guess Moon Knight would be okay," and blah blah blah. But I didn't have an answer. And at some point I was like, well, you should probably figure out what your answer is. And that coincided with, around that time, editors would contact me and be like, "Hey, do you want to do a one shot on this character? Do you want to do a short arc on this property?" And I was flattered to be approached, but the answer was always no. And part of it was because I was so busy with film and TV stuff that I whatever comic time I had, I was going to write my own stuff. Not like I thought I was better than it or anything like that. In fact, I'd probably take that with film and TV so slow. I'd probably take that work now. So reach back out to me.
Right.
But I remember there was an editor at a very good publisher that reached out to me, and it was the third time he reached out, and he said, "Hey, I think you'd be great for this." And I was like, keep thinking of me. I'm so thankful that you're thinking of me, but I don't think I'm the right guy for this. And he kind of sighs indignantly. He's like, "Man, sooner or later, you're going to have to figure out what you want to write." And he was right. And so I sat down and I'm like, well, what characters do I want to write? And so I made a list of properties that I would love to write comic books based on. And what almost all of them had in common was that nobody had those properties, that they weren't being done in comics.
Kind of a good thing, kind of a bad thing in comics.
Yeah.
Right?
And Evel Knievel was right up top. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me just dig into it. And so short and sweet, I called up Kelly Knievel. and
Nice.
and he's the brand owner. It's Evel's oldest son, and he and I hit it off. He's my kind of guy, and we hammered out a deal.
It's a
And
great lesson too of like, first, two things I think are really great for all creators listening to this is one is make that list of stuff that what are your dream projects?
Mhm.
Because sometimes just making that list can point you towards your own stuff. And then I love the second part of this is so many people are like, well, how do I don't know how to get in contact. It's like, you can find these people. Like if you really care about it, like you did, you just kind of reach out to the person who's like the family
Mhm.
member who owns the rights and like, why not take the shot?
not to be too much of a shameless plugger here, but the Shoshin Creative Lab, the company that I run, we've done it for other people. So if there is a property that you're interested in, we can connect you. We have a fairly solid history now of introducing creators to properties that they're interested in, and deals getting done.
It's a great resource. Should we move on to monsters? Do some
Oh,
monsters?
yeah.
All right. So, Rylend, you are the challenger this week. What monster did you bring for us? What do you like about it?
I am a Bigfoot Sasquatch fanatic. I have been romantically involved with Bigfoot since I was a young lad. I think
Hopefully, a
it's so
mental affair. This is an affair of the mind.
Yes, of course. An intellectual affair, but so lovely and so wonderful. There's an Evel Knievel connection here. I mean, the reason that when you guys asked me what monster do I want to go with, why was it on the tip of my tongue? So Evel's younger son, Captain Robbie Knievel, is the son that followed in Evel's footsteps and broke all of Evel's records and did all these crazy jumps like Dad did. And we are building out an Evel Knievel universe, and one of the first moves we made was, well, we should do a Robbie Knievel book. And there's a documentary, it's about an hour and a half long, where Robbie Knievel and some friends go out and they try and find Bigfoot.
Yes.
And so it is riveting for any number of reasons. And so that is the Robbie Knievel comic book we're doing Robbie Knievel Goes to Find Bigfoot.
Do you prefer the term Sasquatch or
Oh, yeah.
Bigfoot?
Sasquatch.
I don't know if I'm particular. Yeah.
Squatch and foot? Squatch and
Yeah.
foot?
I mean, I'll go back and forth, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
I celebrate the man's entire catalog. So.
Yeah.
Does your Bigfoot have a name other than Bigfoot, or we're just going to go Bigfoot if I'm referring to your creature?
Interesting. That is a good question. Can't go Squatch. Squatch is actually the name of the Bigfoot mascot of the Seattle Supersonics. So we don't want to get sued for copyright infringement there.
Yeah.
Though that would be very hilarious, is because I've often wondered, like, what is Squatch up to now, right? Because
Like, what's he
ain't
doing?
no Seattle Supersonics. That team was stolen, and so he's just sitting in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, out in the woods, wandering around with a football.
Yeah.
Maybe-
And so, go ahead.
The Knievels
Yeah.
will find him.
Maybe the
There you
Knievels
go.
will find him,
Ooh.
because
I think he could call himself Squatch. I think that's okay.
well,
I think he could also be that character. I don't
Yeah.
think there's any
Sure.
yeah,
or a mascot-like character.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So my character is Squatchy.
Good.
He was the mascot of a professional basketball team.
Nice.
And that professional basketball team was stolen from the wonderful city in the Pacific Northwest that loved it and cherished it for years. And now he's in the Pacific Northwest. He has no place to dunk basketballs anymore.
This is good.
Yeah, he doesn't have
this gives
tens of
us a nice
thousands
goal.
of fans cheering for him anymore.
Yeah.
So he's sad. He's maybe a little bit angry, but for some reason he's really angry at Oklahoma City.
I assume classic description, like 6-7 feet tall, covered in hair. What are we thinking in terms of description?
6-7 feet tall, covered in hair. His his green, white,
Little
and
jersey?
yellow basketball jersey.
I love it.
Oh,
yeah.
like shredded.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that'll be good to start with, I think. We'll come back and do some stats in a second. But Jesse, who are you going to pick to go up against?
Well, this
Squatchy?
is weird because we are similar, and that has not happened yet. So I'm excited about it. I'm not Bigfoot, don't worry about that. But I am Swamp Ape or Skunk Ape. So I am from the Everglades in Florida, and I dig a swamp. I'm big. I'm a big guy. I'm Huey. I'm Huey the Swamp Ape.
Okay.
But I have this notorious reputation of this being noxious and stinky, and that my odor is like a big, power almost. It scares people away. I personally take hygiene very seriously, and I'm offended by this rumor.
Okay, so
As
this
I
was
like to call
never
it.
true for your creature. You were never stinky?
I believe that it was never true. We will find out.
Okay.
We will find out if it was true or not.
Because I also wonder too, is it that thing of like, well, I smell good to me, but everyone else can't
I
get
mean,
on
I
board?
think I smell great. I have lots of scents that I have collected,
Okay.
both
All right. I like
in the
that.
woods and out of the woods. I am smaller than the Squatchy usually, so not as big. And let's see. I
Are
do
you
have a
covered in
large
hair?
what? I do.
Are
I'm
you?
covered in hair. It is red. I keep it well groomed because I'm very serious about that kind of stuff. I also am a big fan of these Labubus. I think for some reason that the humans have made them in my honor and are kind of worshiping me, and so I've taken them to be a very like a very personal compliment to me, the Labubus. So I hang them around the trees where I'm from, and I have a lot of them. I'm pretty stealthy. I think I'm pretty stealthy anyway. And yeah, I I just hang out in the Everglades mostly.
Do you think that these creatures speak? Do they have the power of speech?
I 100% speak. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what's up with with
What about
Squatchy.
Squatchy?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I think we could probably communicate with each other. I mean, we talked about different ways to communicate, and one of, I think one of Squatchy's powers, one of his regular attacks is that he's able to commune with animals. Whether he is able to verbalize it or not, he's able to, connect with the wildlife, and that probably includes humans.
All right. Well, this is super exciting. I was very excited when I saw the two of these together because I actually wrote about Bigfoot in my book Cryptozoology for Beginners, and when I was writing about it, I found out that this is the only cryptid that every kind of country in the world has a version
Hmm.
of this kind of a creature. Some kind of like hairy, oftentimes a dude, but not always, hairy hominid wandering around that everybody's seen, but nobody can prove. Every country has one. There's like a Yowie in Australia. There's one in the Yeti in Asia. So I think this is really cool to pair two of them. These are clearly cousin material going up against each other. And I had something I always wanted to do. So I'm super excited we had the two of these.
Ryland,
But
we're
we're gonna,
making his dreams come true.
I know, I'm
Look
so
at him.
excited.
There is an uptick in sightings now also. They're
Yes.
all
Yeah.
over,
It's like,
There were like a dozen sightings in this like Ohio town where everybody's
Yep.
just suddenly seeing Bigfoot
and
around, but
well, and
nobody
every
can find.
tour, yeah, every
No.
tourist place, at least in northern Michigan, in any place, has some version of Bigfoot on the T-shirt.
Actually, I was a little surprised, like, because I associate it with Pacific Northwest, but
Hmm.
there are sightings everywhere. But actually, apparently, there are more sightings per capita in Michigan than anywhere else in the United States. So,
Yeah.
That
And
makes sense.
Michigan,
Upper
and Michigan has
Peninsula.
and they also have like the Dog Man and all these they have their own little cryptids that are similar. But yeah, the Squatch has definitely taken over.
So I'm excited to do because it's like we're a monster show. So this is like the Battle of the Titans to my mind.
Yeah.
So let's do some
Matt's
stats.
Titans.
So we'll start with Squatchy. Again, I wanted to give the stats of these two. I think they're pretty close. One of the things we always hear when we talk about Bigfoot, he's not really like a brainiac type creature. And generally we say on this show that like the smartest human is maybe a 12. So I was thinking maybe Squatchy's mind aspect is going to be like a 10. So like can communicate, can talk, has been hanging around a while, but not maybe smarter than Albert Einstein. Might wise though, I think this is the biggest stat. We often hear about how strong Bigfoot is. So I was going with a might of 19. And then magic, I wasn't sure how magical they are. It seems like there's some ability to hide and stuff. So I was giving them a magic of 12. And then overall life points, I was going to do 18. So what do you think of all that? Does that sound fair? Does anything seem off to you?
I think that all tracks, So no, that sounds. I trust you. Yeah.
You shouldn't.
I want
You shouldn't.
400 life points.
That's me.
Or I'm shutting it down.
Yeah, Jesse, we've talked about doing a spin-off podcast called like Monster Attorney, where Jesse argues for all the like, yeah, objection, Your Honor.
Everyone deserves more or less.
More stats. They're all geniuses.
Yes, I do
Amazing.
like a few extra points. That's true.
There was no dunking, so
No. I mean, that would be covered, I think, in might. Like your ability to dunk a
Yeah.
basketball is like you're strong. It's a 19. It's
okay.
pretty strong.
Yeah.
So you're gonna
Okay.
have anytime you do like a strength or physical check, you're gonna have a +1 with a 19. Yeah. Jesse, I gave the skunk ape / swamp ape / Huey pretty similar stats.
Okay.
Because I think they're pretty similar creatures. So the mind I gave a 9. The reason it's lower is
Because
because he lives in
I'm from
Florida.
Florida. I knew
That's
it.
exactly
I knew
right. It's against Florida.
Just
I have
Seattle to
relatives who
Florida.
live in
It's
Florida.
definitely-
I'm here to
yeah.
defend you, Florida. If you vote right. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Like,
Why would you live in the Everglades covered in fur?
I think Seattle to Florida, there needs to be like a 2 to 3 point difference. Is if I can start lawyering here, but
Now
Ooh,
that's the pull quote.
Uh-oh.
That's in trouble.
Yep.
I was literally doing it because why are you staying in the Everglades? It's so humid. You're covered in fur. You should be in the Pacific Northwest. Swamp Ape.
You know what? I'm going to allow this one, Matt. I agree. I'm not going to argue that one. Yeah, it's fine.
Your might is an 18. Because again, like everything I looked up, Swamp Ape's not as big as Bigfoot traditionally. So it's just a physical, it's one less. It's very close.
Much more petite, I said, yes.
But I did give you, because of the smell factor, we're not sure how exactly that works. I gave you one more in magic. So you have a 13 magic.
Well, I don't smell, but I will accept this
All
extra
right.
point. I will
Okay.
accept
some magical stench.
There
Some
might be
magical stench.
some
It's-
magical attacks.
It's more
that's all I'm saying.
pheromones than a stench so much as yes.
And then your life points are the same, 18. You
Okay.
both have 18 life points. What do we think?
This could be fun.
We need to basically do our attacks. So, like I was saying, Rylend, you get to assign 2 regular attacks. You can use as much as you want during the encounter, and then 1 special attack you can do 1 time. So, what would you like to do for your regular attacks?
So my intelligence attack, I think, is again this ability to commune with animals. I think that whenever he needs to, he could check in with the squirrels and maybe get some recon or something like that. Number 2 on regular attacks is some version of Hulk strength. I think when he needs to, when he gets angry or whatever, he could rip a tree out of the ground. Some version of mom lifting the car off her kid when she needs to. And then my special attack, and I think this is this explains why we can't find these guys, is that he can disappear into thin air when he needs to, and we don't know where he went.
I like that. So, and we can get into it, but do you think it's like a teleportation or is it more of a cloaking spell?
Interesting. I think it's more of a teleportation. I think
So he's going some other place.
Yeah.
Right,
I
cool.
think it's
All right, well, those are awesome. Huey, the Swamp Ape, what are your attacks?
So I also can commune a little bit with animals. My normal attack is a specific animal. It's called the alligator barrel roll, of course. So this power will involve my strong bond with the alligators, and when I release a call to my comrades, they will grab my opponent with their powerful jaws and barrel roll them away or whatever. My next one is I do have a skunk spray, but it's more of like my powerful pheromones. I don't like, but I do have it. It is a very over intoxicating, I like to say, an intoxicating scent that comes over the area. And this will immobilize my opponent. And if it's really powerful, could knock them out. But I will never, ever admit if I dealt it or smelt it.
wow.
No, but you will feel it. You will feel it.
So you're calling that the skunk spray?
Yeah, I'm calling it the skunk spray. I wish I'd call it something a little sexier than that. But and my big power is the tree drop slam. And this is kind of a little homage to some old WWF wrestling. But if I use this power, I'm able to wrap my one powerful arm around my opponent and climb up to the top of the highest tree. I do like to climb trees. And then I will drop my enemy. And after this harrowing crash to the ground of the swamp floor and they land, I will jump down and deliver a powerful diving elbow onto their chest.
That's awesome.
I personally would like to see someone do that from the top of a tree. But
yeah.
Everyone's dead.
We're realizing a lot of dreams today. This is like me getting to see 2 Bigfoot creatures fighting against each other. You're going to do this cool wrestling move. It's going to be good.
And Evel Knievel might show up, maybe.
He might.
All right.
Or someone related.
How many rights does Rylend have? What can we do?
Just kidding.
Robbie's going to come looking for us.
Probably not that one. He won't come.
We probably don't want to have to send Kelly Knievel a check after this, but
no, let's not do that.
Yeah.
I will say though,
X-nay on the evil nay.
I will say though, if anyone out there wants to make a perfume commercial for Skunks by Huey, we will definitely watch that. Like black and white.
You have the rights; they are granted to you.
Yes.
Just don't use AI. Oh,
yes!
Look, yes.
He's showing his Bigfoot on screen.
Squatchy. Yeah, it's pretty big.
Fantastic.
Right? Yeah,
that's great.
Bigfoot.
I don't have a skunk ape or a swamp ape. Sorry, guys. But
This
that
would
was
be
cool.
amazing if you pulled off your
I
face.
just pulled my
Mission
face off
Impossible
Scooby-Doo.
style.
I am actually the swamp ape.
The whole time. Great.
thought I
Left the
smelled something.
Everglades.
Now we do have our two monsters statted up. It is time to pit monster v monster. All right, we are going to start off in the outskirts of Tacoma, Washington. It's Friday night, early fall. The air is just starting to get cold and crispy. Right on the edge of the woods is a barn/honky-tonk bar with a bunch of pickup trucks and muscle cars parked out front. Rylend Squatchy is standing on the edge of the woods in his faded, tattered basketball jersey, watching people enter the barn bar. And you can hear shouts of enjoyment and applause from inside. On the exterior of the barn, you can read a big hand-painted sign that reads, Arm Wrestling Contest.
Oh, wow.
Punk the skunk and win $10,000. Now, as it turns out, $10,000 is exactly what you need to make a down payment on this abandoned basketball gym near your forest, which you have been trying to buy so you could restart a local basketball team. Maybe it's for the kids, maybe it's for the neighborhood, but you want to reclaim those days when you were the basketball mascot, but you need 10 grand to do it. And this developer who owns it has been telling you they will sell it to you, but you need to come up with the money by next week. And since you can't really get a job at Krispy Kreme, it seems like this might be your best bet.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you want to do?
Let's go on in.
All right. So you
Yeah. I'm gonna
walk
punk
up to
the
bar
skunk.
bar, and there's a really big, really tough-looking bouncer sitting on a stool beside the door. He's watching motorcycle videos on his phone. He's wearing like a black leather vest, no shirt underneath. He doesn't even look up when you approach. You got some ID?
Ooh, wow. I left it in my other pants.
He looks up at you, and his expression immediately changes because he sees this gigantic, 7-foot-tall, hairy guy and says, "Never mind. Go on in." You enter this converted barn. You're immediately hit with a wall of noise. There's drunk people everywhere. There's glasses being broken. Hard rock music plays. At the back of the barn is a rage stage with a table on it. There's even an alligator pit off in the corner that's like been dug into the ground, and there's an alligator inside that people can like put money in a thing and like feed it little
That's convenient.
dead baby
Yeah.
chickens.
I think you added that.
I did. Did you see me typing as
I
you
liked
were?
it. It was really good. Really good.
A huge, muscly guy is in the middle on the stage of an arm wrestling match with an even bigger creature that is like covered in red hair. Jesse, this is your guy. This is Huey. Do you think you're wearing anything on stage? Like, have you been put in clothes, or are you just in your natural self?
I think I have like an old wrestling signet on, but I like it like kind of like
Ooh, like
yeah,
with the
just
one,
yeah, the one
the Andre the
Oh,
Giant?
Andre the
yeah.
Giant. I'm
Love
Andre
it.
the Giant. Yeah.
Okay. So you've got this
Big
like
big fan.
leotard, whatever they called it. You said signet? Is that what it was called?
It's a
I think they're called
singlet.
Singlet.
Yeah, I
Singlet.
said the wrong word. I was like, yeah, I knew I said it wrong. There we go. Thank you. I knew you had
Yes. Oh my
I
God,
knew
he's got
Rylend wouldn't
everything.
let
He
me
just
down.
showed an Andre the
Singlet.
Giant Funko Pop. Fantastic. So that's great. So you're wearing, is it black or is it clashing with your red hair, or what do we think?
I was thinking it was yellow. I was in a
Okay.
yellow mood. I'm a little
Love it.
brighter than Andre on that one, but
All right. So you're in your yellow singlet.
yes.
Signet is a
Sorry.
baby swan.
Yes, I just mispronounced it. Sorry, everyone.
Me too. So you're arm wrestling this huge dude. Why don't you roll to see how you do? You're going to get a +1 for your strength.
If I don't rip an arm off, I'm going to be very disappointed. 6 arm
Shoot.
ripping time.
Yeah, you do. You basically go over the top, and I'm
Wow.
just going to see if this guy, I mean, he got a 4.
I don't
You
really want to
defeated
rip.
him,
Yeah,
but there is a giant wet snap that echoes through this bar as this guy's arm breaks like a stalk of celery.
Ooh.
An announcer in a cowboy hat with a huge beer gut jogs up on stage. He wears a name tag that reads Crazy Carl, and he speaks into a microphone. Whoa! He's done it, folks. Give it up for our winner and reigning champion, Huey. People applaud, and Huey, you lift your head and kind of toss your hair back, and as you do, you make direct eye contact with Squatchy Rylend. There may or may not be some sparks flying. Squatchy, do you want to react in any way?
I want to step up on stage. I want to point to the $10,000 sign, and I want to go.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. Well, look at this. I didn't even ask for someone to come up, but you want to take it on, big fella? You want to give it a whirl?
I'm just sitting down at the table and
Mhm.
putting my arm up. I'm ready.
Well, you, sir, are certainly a man of action or thing of action. I don't want to assume nothing. All right. So that's enough yap. It's time to see who's got the golden arm. Gentlemen, take your grip. So the two of you kind of grip hands like that. And as this is about to start, why don't you roll a die to see, Rylend, roll a die to just do a kind of a perception check of
Perception
everything
check?
around you. Yeah. So just
Okay.
roll a 6-sided die.
4.
Okay, yeah, you would notice this. So as you take the grip of this creature across from you, you notice down below on the floor that the ankle of this creature is manacled to a
Oh,
big,
wow.
shiny, tough-looking chain that is attached to the stage. So it seems like there's something happening where Huey cannot run away or get out of this. And, as you notice this, Crazy Carl is like talking behind you. He's like, all right, gentlemen, you got your grip. First one over the top wins the $10,000. 3, 2, 1, over the top. So we're going to do this now. You're each going to roll 3 die, one after the
wow.
other, to see how we're going to do this. These are strength checks. You each get plunged +1 on this. So you're each going to roll, and we'll kind of see as it goes back and forth who is going to win the arm wrestling contest.
Okay. So who's first on this?
I think the challenger should go
Yes,
first.
the challenger should for sure go
Okay.
first.
3.
3, okay.
4.
4, all right. So you're
Wow.
straight. It's kind of
Wow.
Huey's starting to push you over, but you get to go again.
5.
Ooh,
4.
5 coming back. 4. Ooh, all right. So we're on the other side now. The hand's moving to the other side. As this is happening, Crazy Carl's like narrating. He's going back and forth. Everyone's getting hyped up. All right, last one. Let's see who's got the strength.
4.
1.
Oh,
1. Oh.
So you are going to take some damage. I don't know if you were startled or what happened. Something distracted you, but Squatchy slams your hand through the table and some of the chunks of wood hit you. So you're going to take a couple points of damage for the strength of that. So as you finish, Crazy Carl,
we might be related. I'm distracted.
the audience goes nuts. Crazy Carl's on the microphone. He's like, well, folks, we got a new winner. Here's your big old bag of cash, friend. And he comes out with like an actual bag. And as he hands it to you, he kind of sets aside the mic and he says like, ooh, you're a big, strong drink of water, ain't you? I gotta be honest, I can't bear to see a champion like you go. You ever think about being in the entertainment business?
I'm wondering, can this guy? Yeah, okay. I guess he can't talk. I've been grunting, but I actually am in the entertainment business. I have my own thing going on.
Well, so
Yeah.
it sounds like you'd be right at home here. How about, what say you join us? Do weekly night shows. We'll pay you, keep you well fed. What do you say? As he's saying this, roll a 6-sided die. This is going to be a mental check.
2.
You don't notice anything. You're listening to this guy. You're looking at the money.
I'm trying to
You're
talk.
thinking
I'm
about-
like, don't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, Jesse, you can say something if you want.
I was trying to, but he didn't perceive it. I was trying to be like, get out of here.
All right, so you're
run.
you're
Yeah,
silently. The other thing you don't notice is that a little slot opens up in the floor, and
wow.
a little hand comes out and clicks a manacle over your ankle, and it's going
Damn.
down into the stage.
Wow.
And he backs up. Crazy Carl backs up with the money until you're out of range, and he says, "Well, friend, thank you for joining the team. We're gonna do a lot of great stuff together."
Wow.
Now, you guys
Well,
don't take this
welcome to
lying
the show.
down. You guys can do some stuff if you want.
Let's do some stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm
Yeah.
livid. I want my money. My basketball dreams were just snatched away. I
So
won
why
this fair
don't-
and square.
Both of you just roll a die to see who goes first. This is just kind of for initiative.
Okay. I got a 2. Again. This
I
2
got a
likes
6
me.
this time. Yeah, you do
Nice.
have this.
All right, so Jesse, you're going to go first. You can do something now. The two of you are manacled to the stage, but you have enough room that you can kind of move several feet in either direction.
All right. So Carl is now Carl. How are we going to do this with two of us every
it's going to
night?
be great. We're going to make so much money. Ain't that right, boys? And as he says boys, like two other dudes kind of look like the bouncer come up, and they've got like shotguns that they go. So they've got shotguns on either side of him, and he's just sitting there smiling. And if I would say 10, 15 feet away from you.
Well, I'm pretty excited that my long lost distant cousin has showed up here today. And my spirits were pretty broken because I had been stuck here for a while, but I'm feeling kind of rejuvenated this, some kindred spirit here. So I'm feeling like getting a little rowdy. I'm feeling more energized than normal. And I am going to I even though I don't like to admit it, I think I'm gonna have to skunk spray this room. And
Amazing.
I apologize in advance, new person, new friend, this might get a little crazy.
So you look
Wow.
over and you're like, whatever's about to happen, it's not me.
Yeah, it's not me. Whatever, definitely not me. But yeah, that's funny. All right, I'm gonna roll 3. It could have been better since I had
I think it's okay. Now, let's talk about how this works. This is like you just turning on pheromones, so it's like just kind of spreading out in a cloud around you.
a cloud around me, so it's gonna hit everybody.
And it is the
So I
goal
guess if you're
to
closer,
discuss them.
Am I
it
immune because we share DNA sort of?
I mean, you're not immune if I'm targeting you, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to not target you. So I'm
Oh, okay.
pushing it toward Carl and his goons. And I think the closer you are to me, the more damage it will cause. So Carl is probably in the
You could
direct.
waft it too, I bet.
Yeah, you could just.
You could do one of these things. My brother calls this, I'm serving it up to you. I'm serving it
Wow.
up to
All
you.
right, all right. So let's help me blow this over toward them.
Okay. So
Get
you turn on the
squatchy in on
pheromones.
this.
It's not the
Yeah.
biggest, skunk spray you've ever done, but you're
Mm-mm.
wafting it over there. And then is this does it gross people out? Does it have some other kind of physical?
Well, no, it can make them pass out. It
Okay.
immobilizes them. It can
All right.
make them drop their weapons if it's bad enough. It
Ooh,
can make them fall down if it's bad enough. Just like people reacting to a really, really intoxicating and not toxic stench.
yes.
Yes.
All right. So you spray out this stench. It does hit, these guys are only 10, 15 feet away from you. So it hits all 3 of them. It also hits some of the people in the front crowd who are like, wow, reacting. One of the guys falls down. Like his eyes roll back in his head and he falls unconscious and his shotgun goes skittering off to the side. Carl is like, whoa. But he's able to like kind of cover his thing. And then the other guy kind of takes a step forward. Like his eyes are watering. He's grossed out, but he's a little bit more reacting to it in a tougher way. But so what you took out one guy with that. That's pretty good.
And now I'm just looking over at Squatchy like, what are you gonna do here? Go, dude.
Yeah.
I've done
All
it.
right.
So Squatchy, what do you want to do?
Yeah. I think I want to use my Hulk strength. What I would like to do is pull on that manacle chain, rip it
Mhm.
from whatever it's anchored to, and swing it at the guy with the shotgun. Maybe just try to do a sweep and take out more than that, but he's my primary target.
Okay, great. So let's do, I think there's going to be a 2-roll thing here. You're going to roll once to see your strength. If you can like pull this out, you've got a +1 on
Okay.
that. And then the other roll will be for like, how good is your swing in terms
Okay.
of target?
All right. So the first one is a 5.
Nice. So that's a 6. So you're definitely going to yank that thing out.
Okay.
And a
And
chunk of the stage is going to come with it.
the second one is a 3.
Okay, solid. So what were you aiming for when you rip it out? So the stage comes out. People are screaming now and like running for out the back of the door. And you're gonna swing it. What were you aiming for when you swing this chain?
I'm aiming for that shotgun because that is our,
Okay.
that is our the guy with, the guy and the shotgun. I'm trying to wipe that off the table, but whatever else gets in the way is going.
I'm just gonna check this guy's reaction time. It's not good. So he's had a couple beers. He basically got a 2. He's not smart either. So you knock it out of his hand. The shotgun goes flipping over and it lands way on the other side of the bar. And he's going to take 2 points of damage because you hit his hands with this tough tungsten chain. Carl is pissed. He is going to take out a taser from his belt and aim it at you and pull
like a
the
mosquito
trigger.
bite? What are we talking about?
It is like a mosquito bite. He forgot to like crank up the voltage. He shoots you with it. It kind of zaps you, but it's not really doing you harm and you're huge. So he's like, and he sees it's not hurting you. So now he's a little petrified. So we are back to you, Jesse. You are still manacled to the stage, but you can do something else.
I'm like, well, I would like you to help. I am strong. I could try, but I haven't been able to get out of this manacle in the past. So I'm assuming I have some kind of issue.
I like that you said it was just malaise. Like you
Just,
were.
well, I was depressed, but yeah, now I'm kind of excited. I guess I'm gonna alligator barrel roll And I think I'm teaming up. I think I'm teaming up with Squatchy. I am like seeing a good like doubles team here. I'm gonna communicate to my alligator buddies in the pool. They're also they've been depressed too. You know what? We've been stuck here a while, but
There's
they're
just
getting.
one. I think he's
But
got one in
yeah,
there.
yeah. So there's only one. All right. So
Yeah.
I talked to the one.
This is a real cruddy, like converted
Just
barn
a real. There's a
situation.
dolphin in the
It's not a
sink.
SeaWorld.
All right.
Finn is
So
just like this.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah. We'll be making that in a soup later.
But I'm letting my alligator buddy know that we got new blood here and things are getting excited. He's getting excited. I'm going to aim this barrel roll right at this Carl man who I do not like. Let's see. Oh, just a one. The alligator, or you know what? The alligator's depressed. I couldn't get him to be as, needs a little more
So
work.
you psychically reach out to the alligator, but I think the message is more like kind of insulting than what your intent was. And so the alligator is like pissed and it's like does the alligator hiss? And it kind of clambers out and it runs off out the side. People are screaming, they're running away from the alligator, but the alligator has gone out into the outside the barn. And so it's outside somewhere now, terrorizing people. Kind of scared it off instead of having it help you.
That's harsh, man. All right.
Sorry.
That is
It's
a
a
one.
one.
That's what happens when you get a one.
It bounces back on you. Squatchy. Saw he was over there going, "Arr!" And an alligator just ran off. Carl's still juicing you. The tasers are in you. It's not, you probably need to deal with it because you do have some electricity running through you, but it's not terrible. He didn't crank it up to the maximum voltage.
Yeah. All right.
What do you want to do?
What I would like to do is free my friend here. I don't know if I can do that and deal with the electricity at the same time.
I feel like you could. I feel like you should just easily rip the prongs out and then yank on.
All right. Well, let's try and do that. She had a chance to take a shot at me. She didn't, and so I am going to solidify that partnership. And so yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this prong, and I'm gonna try and free her from her manacle.
So that's a strength check. So just roll a 6. You get a +1. Roll 6-sided die.
Okay, that's 4.
Okay, that's solid. So it's going to take you like the whole, you don't have that amazing strength you did before. You're kind of yanking on it. Maybe there's a little bit of still wafting scent coming off that's like making your eyes water, but you're going to bend down like, "Argh!" And it is going to come off. You're going to have enough strength to do it. So you're both free now, but it is Carl's turn. And Carl tosses aside the taser and he's like, "You ungrateful son bitch. I paid decent money for you to be brought here from them damn Everglades, and I'd be damned if you're going to go back there." And so he takes out this big pistol from his, I guess, Dirty Harry kind of gun, 6-shooter revolver, and he aims at you, and he is going to fire at you, Huey. I'm going to see how he does here.
What? Are you
The
laughing as Carl?
The gun blows up in his hand.
Yes.
He pulls the trigger and the gun explodes. It was one of those spangled, like he had it dipped in gold or something and he forgot to clean it. And it
got
blows
it from the
up.
Tiger King.
It blows off 3 of his fingers. He loses his thumb and his first 2 fingers and takes 3 points of damage. He's like, that was American made. He's like on his knees now crying. The barn is empty. His fingers are off to the side. We're back to the 2 of you. Jesse, you get to go first. What do you want to do? Looking down on this poor bleeding guy who held you captive for 2 months now.
Well, Carl needs to be done. I'm not feeling very merciful, and I'm not very merciful in general. I don't really like the Pacific Northeast. I'm very so I like a nice humid, wet kind of vibe. I don't like this, Anyways, so I am going to
Shots fired.
Shots fired. He was going to kill me. So I want to tree drop him, but I don't know if I can because I'm trying to, I feel like there are trees.
There's rafters.
Rafters.
In the barn. So you could like grab him and scamper up to the rafters.
I'm going to grab him and I'm going to get up into the middle. And I think all these people are kind of hiding under tables, but they're here. And
There's a few people left.
I think I'm going to give him a little taste of his own medicine, and maybe with the help with Squatchy over here, since he's got some performance. He said he was in entertainment. I think we got to take the main stage, brother, right? We
Nice.
got to,
Yeah.
yeah. One night only, folks. We are going to see a move that has never been seen before. It is the tree top dive drop. I forgot what it was called, but
We'll workshop that later.
it is the tree drop dive drop, and Carl here is going to help me perform it, and Squatchy is going to get the audience going. Get us
Nice.
going.
You do one of these things, mascot style. All right, so roll.
Let's roll and see what happens.
I think this is like kind of a general roll to see how well you execute the move. Yeah,
I'm so sad. I'm back to
one?
depression. I have got a 1.
Okay.
Squatchy, you're gonna have
What's
to take
amazing is that you really talked it up beforehand too.
I got it so ready.
You really sold it. Like you made the speech, you were grandstanding. So you run over towards him in your big loping thing, and as you get right in front of him, your bare foot hits the blood puddle right in front of him, and your feet go out from under you. And you bonk your head on the floor and skid and smash up against the wall of the park. And you're going to take 2 points of damage, I'm sorry to say, from that tumble. Oh, he's like, look at you as you go.
He's bleeding at least.
It's down to you. You look back, you see what happened. What do you want to do now? You've been hyping the crowd. Even the crowd is kind of like, huh?
Yeah, I haven't dunked in a long while. And so I think I'm going to use this guy as the ball. And I see a really... We're on the stage. I see a really nasty garbage can, about 8 feet away from the stage. And I think, we're going to dunk him into that garbage can, show him who the boss is. So,
awesome.
All right,
so again, this is a general kind of a strength roll. You get a +1 on this.
Yes!
A 6! A 6! A very palpable 6. All right. So you drop your hands, you look over, you run over kind of in the same, like that loping gait of the basketball player. You scoop this huge dude up under your arms. You bounce him off the floor twice.
I'm dribbling him.
Jump up in the air. This is like a Michael Jordan slow motion, like your legs crossing, you're 10 feet in the air, and you go ka-choom right into the garbage can filled with stale beer and several people's vomits. It just splashes out the sides. He's head first, his broken hand, he's crying on the inside. The crowd goes like nuts. They actually applaud like for you. Several people have been filming this with their phones. Very well done. What do you want to do after you do this amazing? You want to say anything? Do you want to go help Huey out?
I want to make sure my friend's okay. I think what I really want to do is I want to grab the 10 grand that they took away from me.
It's still right there. It's on the stage.
I want to announce that there's a new basketball team in the Pacific Northwest where shows like this will be common. And I would like to invite my new friend Huey and the standoffish alligator that ran out of the thing to join the team.
Great.
I think we need a couple of good wings, and if Huey can work out that slipping thing, I think we might have a
well, just less blood on the floor. Less blood on the floor.
You just need a little grip on your soles.
Although blood on the floor might be part of our show now, and we're like the Globetrotters with violence.
I think we can run the triangle. Throw the alligator 100%. In there and work for the Lakers. It can work for us. Yeah,
that's great. So as you make this announcement, we do kind of one of those cinematic transitions where like literally someone takes a picture of you and it becomes like the front page of like the, Seattle news website, like brand new basketball team announced, run by 2 cryptids plus an alligator, and everyone's loving it. We flash forward. You're packed every night. You do like fun Harlem Globetrotter style, stunt shows and stuff and demonstrations. You're both extremely wealthy and have your run of fame and fortune into the future. So very well done. That was super fun at the end. You never know how the dice are going to take it,
Yeah. Well, and I never know if I'm going to fight the. It's always like in fun, like, are we going to fight? I kind of didn't. I think Matt didn't want us to fight today. He wanted us to team up, maybe.
I mean, technically, the arm wrestling contest was won by Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So I think
true. I guess you won the wrestling, the arm wrestling.
But
enough.
I was hoping you guys would team up and not necessarily attack each other because you're like-minded creatures. How do you both think it went? Any things you would have maybe done differently? Or
I think it was fun. Carl was great.
He's awful.
Crazy Carl.
But it's fun playing an awful villain sometimes.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like because I have crazy glue sitting right here and The crazy and crazy glue is spelled with a K, and so I imagine Crazy Carl being spelled with 2 Ks.
I
Yeah.
did basically a whole Kaiser Sose thing. I looked around your space and built the whole thing from everything I saw. You had the Bigfoot, the crazy glue, the unitard.
Yeah. I thought it went wonderfully. I think any story that ends with 2 cryptids and an alligator starting a professional basketball team
Yeah,
is hard to beat. So I'm glad that I played a small role in it.
I'd watch that team. It was great.
Yeah.
You talked me into staying in your home base, but I mean, I felt such loyalty after he saved
Yeah.
me. I was like, all right.
It was going to be my question. Is this a tragedy where Huey ends up marooned in the Pacific Northwest again? but if we are raking in money hand over fist, I have this feeling like you can create whatever environment you need to over there.
We could
And I can
franchise it. We could
franchise
open
it.
a Florida team that, Huey can go down there and manage.
After a couple months, I was getting smarter. So I started to like it more. My intelligence was going up. So, and no one
like the
talks about how I
obsession.
smell here. So that's nice.
It just blends in with the general, Pacific Northwest.
All the sweat and, all the
vibes,
basketball,
the patchouli,
all that stuff.
the other herbs. So, well, that was super fun. Thank you so much for joining us, Rylend. Where can people find you? What's a project of yours you'd like them to go check out?
I am at Rylend Grant on all forms of social media. That is RYLENDGRANT. It's not a real name. My parents just kind of drunkenly arranged letters and saddled me with it, and so now I have to spell it for everybody. But yeah, a lot of good comic stuff on Kickstarter. Issue 2 of Evel Knievel will be out pretty soon. Look at my socials for that. And if you need creative help bringing things to life, getting where you need to be, the Shoshin Creative Lab has helped a lot of people. So we're here. Come knock on the door. Always excited to meet new people and help new people. So
great.
Well, thank you for coming, Rylend. And for everybody else, we got to come back next week for a knockdown, drag out battle between 2 monsters on Monster v. Monster. The show, it was hosted by myself, Jessica Mason, and Matt Harry, and is produced by Wicked Tree Press and Codex Arcanum. If you did like what you heard today, go give us 5 stars. If not, Squatchy will show up and put you in his noogie and rub your head and then slam dunk you into a garbage pail.
Thanks, everybody.
Monster v. Monster is produced by Wicked Tree Press and Codex Arcanum Press.